What's going on, guys? Justin Fuller, ex-Honda salesman, tech lover, and today your host, and we are going to be going over some tips and tricks on the 2025 Honda Ridgeline. So you don't own this thing for your only to go, damn, I didn't even know it could do that. So let's hop on in. Now, the 2025 Honda Ridgeline is set up with Smart Key Entry. Now, you may or may not know what that is because it's been around for a little while. What it means is if I have the key in my pocket and I touch the door handle, it'll automatically unlock my driver's side door. But it doesn't necessarily unlock your passenger doors, which isn't that big a deal if you're driving by yourself, but if it's raining or poor conditions, you might want to be able to let everyone in all at once. You can change that setting. Let me show you how. So to change the Smart Key Entry settings, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here to Vehicle Settings. When you get into Vehicle Settings, you're gonna go to Keyless Access Setup. The very top one, Door Unlock Mode. From there, you can switch from driver's side door to all doors, and now to let all your passengers in when you touch the door handle. Now, if you live in a hot climate like I do here in Austin, Texas, this one is kind of cool. It's been around in Hondas for a long time, but not many people know about it. Did you know that if you take your key fob, press the unlock button, and then press it again and hold it, it'll actually unroll all of your windows so long as you keep holding this down, and even your moonroof. You can also roll them back up. If you take the key out of your fob, put it inside of here, turn it once, turn it again, and hold it, it'll roll all your windows back up. Now, if you're anything like me, you're constantly on the go, and you're coming in and out of your car, and you've got bags and cameras or maybe a laptop, and you maybe get halfway into a store only to go, oh my God, I don't know if I locked the doors. And then you got to turn around, walk back out to the parking lot, and keep hitting the button. Hopefully you can hear it beep or do something to let you know the doors are physically locked. Well, what if I told you when you get 10 feet from the car, with the key fob, it can actually automatically lock the doors. To set up the walkaway auto lock feature, we're gonna go into Vehicle Settings. When we get into Vehicle Settings, we wanna go to Keyless Access Setup. The very bottom one down here, you see is walkaway auto lock. The default is for this to be turned off. Go ahead and turn it on. And now the car will lock the doors when you're 10 feet from it and you got your key in your pocket. So this next one's a little bit goofy, but it happens to all of us. Have you ever been inside of someone's car and they go ahead and park and you go to get out and you pull the door handle and it doesn't unlock and then you're like yanking on the door because you're like, I don't know where the door lock is, because you have to manually pop it to be able to pop this open? Well, what if I told you there's a way to set it up to where when you turn the car off or when you shift to park, it'll automatically unlock all the doors of the vehicle. So to change the door unlock mode, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over into Vehicle Settings. When you get into Vehicle Settings, you wanna go to Door and Window Setup. Under Door and Window Setup, the second one down, Auto Door Unlock. From here, you can change this. Right now, the default is set when the driver's side door opens, it then unlocks the remaining doors of the car. You can change it to when you shift to park or when the ignition turns off. So the Honda Ridgeline is set up with remote start. And if you don't know much about it, let me explain that here. On here, you always gotta make sure the doors are locked. But if you press this little circle button once and then you press it and hold it, what it'll do is it'll flash the lights and it'll actually crank up the car for you. Now, this makes some people uncomfortable because they're like, well, what if somebody runs up and gets in and drives off? Well, remember, the doors have to be locked for this feature to work. And then when you do get inside of the car, you once again then have to get in, put your foot on the brake, press the start button to turn the rest of the vehicle on, and it has to acknowledge the keys in the car. Now, if all of that still makes you uncomfortable and you're like, well, I don't want to actually start the car on accident with it in my pocket or something like that, you can turn this feature off. Let me show you how. To turn remote start off, all we're gonna do is come in here, go to Vehicle Settings. Under Vehicle Settings, you're gonna go to Keyless Access Setup. From here, there's Remote Start On Off. From here, you can select off. Now that feature will be disabled. Now this next tip or trick is related to the tailgate. Did you know you can set the door locks to where when you lock the doors to the car, it'll also lock your tailgate so that nobody could pull it open and see if there's anything there to grab and pull out. But you have to change that setting. Let me show you how to do that. So to set up the tailgate to lock with the doors, you're gonna go into Vehicle Settings. From there, you're gonna go to Door and Window. When you get to Door and Window, scroll to the very bottom, there's a tailgate power locking. You're gonna wanna enable that feature right there. Now, while we're at the back of the vehicle, there's something I wanna point out about the Ridgeline that makes it unique from a lot of other trucks in case you're shopping and watching this video. One, it's a classic truck, right? If I wanna throw down the tailgate, I absolutely can. That's pretty standard. But this is dual action. What I also can do is reach under here and pop it open a secondary way, right? Not a lot of trucks will do that. On top of that, the Ridgeline has storage that lives underneath the bed. So you've got your spare tire here and you got storage down here that you can use. What's even cooler is that they made this with a drain plug. So if you wanted to throw like ice and a bunch of drinks and go like tailgating, you absolutely could with this vehicle. And on top of that, they made this lockable. So where a lot of guys will buy the storage units back there and it takes up additional bed space, this one you can store things in the bed and lock it. And on top of that, you got the dual action tailgate. Now in the second row of this vehicle, there's kind of a fun Easter egg that I like. And it's knowing that when you pull these up and lock them into place, not only do you have this additional storage, if you wanted to throw something in here, or they offer storage setups you can either buy off of Amazon, which if I can find a link, I'll throw it up, or through Honda. But additionally, they've got these guys in it where you can hang stuff from them, whether it's bags of food, or maybe it's a jacket or your book bag or whatever the case is. It's such a simple thing, they're not forcing you to buy additionally. So let's talk about the touchscreen. On here, if you're scrolling around here, you may come across this button right here, the Smart Shortcuts. What you can do is set this button to use as an algorithm to find things that you commonly go to. So if I come over here and go get started, it'll prompt me with some different options of things that I've used commonly. So maybe it's the vinyl SiriusXM station to where it can start automatically producing that button there for me to jump to one of my favorites. Just to make life a little bit easier, something you can take advantage of. While we're here though, I want to point out, if you ever want to adjust these, remove, add stuff like that, if you press and hold on one, you're going to see this screen pop up. When it does, this is going to give you the ability to remove and add things or shift them around. So if you wanted Bluetooth audio to be up in the left corner, you could absolutely do that. Maybe there's something you don't use that much, the trip computer, and you're like, man, I don't really use that much. Maybe I want to remove it, or maybe I want to move it down. Understand you can adjust all these things. Additionally, you can affect these guys down here too. So if you wanted to move something, add it, shift it, know that you can customize this very easy. So this next tip or trick is related to SiriusXM if you have a vehicle that offers it. If you jump into this, there's some really cool things you can do related to getting sports notifications. So if you have a favorite team and you want to know that they're playing or you want to know that they've scored, you can actually set that up. If you come into settings, you can go down to sports notifications. Now the first thing you're gonna have to do is pick your favorite team. So at this point you would come in here and say, okay, let me find the team that I want. So let's say it was college football and we're gonna say it's the Air Force Falcons, right? Just for the sake of doing this, right? So I've selected a team. Now I can go into notifications. What's cool about this is I can go to game notifications first and turn this on. This way, if they are playing in a game, it can give me an alert and then I can select the team, because you can do this for up to 10 teams. The second part is I can get those sports flash notifications. I want to turn this feature on too. This way, if they score, it'll give me an update and let me know that they've scored. So this way, if you're out running errands on a busy Saturday, if it's college, or maybe it's a Sunday or a Monday or a Thursday, if it's NFL, and you want to get those alerts that your team is playing or that they're scoring while you're running those errands, you can absolutely set that up with SiriusXM. So let's talk about a couple tips or tricks related to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So I'm an Android Auto user. I'm using a Google Pixel 7 right here. I want to show you some customization things you can do. First off, right now I've got the map closest to me, and then I've got my audio and some of these other links over here. Understand you can flip-flop these. If you want to do that, come in here. You're going to want to go down to settings. When you get to settings, if you scroll down, you're gonna see change layout at the bottom of the screen. You can shift this to media closer, and now when I jump back, you're gonna see my media is over here, and now the mapping system is over there. The next piece I wanna talk to you related to Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is this. You can see in here that I have my standard apps, but then I've got some shortcuts. I've got one right here that if I click it, it'll automatically fill in the prompt of Google Maps for me,
2 minutes from
and it'll send me to the nearest gas station. So I don't have to use the voice prompts and all those things to get to this. It'll automatically do the work for me. Super helpful when it comes to this feature. Now, the other piece that you can do is I have it set up to where it can automatically call a person. So I'm using myself as the example,
Please enter your password,
and it would immediately
then press
call
pound.
my phone number. Which, while I'm on that topic, I always throw my info in the description of the video. So if you ever want to email me, text me, hit me up on Facebook, whatever, know that my info is there if you have questions. Now, the question becomes, how do I set these things up? I want to show you exactly how to do that. So we're going to go to Customize. When we go to Customize, this screen is going to appear on our phone, right? If you're an Apple user, it's going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be very, very similar, so you should be able to follow along with me. When you get here, if you want to add one of those shortcuts that I showed you up top, pretty easy to do. Add a shortcut, and then from here, if it's call a contact, simply go find the person you want and select them, right? Easy enough. If you want to do the second one, the custom action, where I went to the nearest gas station, go to assistant action. From here, you would add the command. So let's say it's directions to Taco Bell. And then I want to name the command. So I'm going to name it Taco Bell. From there, you can test the command if you want, or if you're confident that it'll work, you can go ahead and create the shortcut. When you do, it's going to drop it in at like the very bottom of your screen down here, and this is where you're going to move things up. While I'm here, I want to point this out. In this screen, this allows you to rearrange all of your apps for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So if you wanted to move some stuff around, maybe I want my phone number to be first, Taco Bell to be second, Maps to be third, and I'm going to move calendar to fourth. right? So I can go ahead and do this, and then I can back out of this system. Now, if you want that to take effect, you're gonna have to restart the system. So what I would do is turn the car off and turn it back on. Since this is a wireless model, if it was a wired model, you could unplug and plug back in. So now that everything is rebooted, we're gonna jump back in. The first thing you're gonna see is my name and then Taco Bell, and then maps and then calendar. And just to test it, select Taco Bell, turn this down so it doesn't yell at me, and then it's gonna give me directions to the nearest Taco Bell. Now, there are some additional settings that you can play with outside of just the customization and the layout. If you go into settings and scroll to the very bottom, there's see more settings on your phone. When you get in here, it'll pop up some additional settings that you have available to you. You can turn on and off certain messaging features. What I like about this is sometimes I don't want it to read off the whole message to me or display part of the message on there. I'm in some group text, I got some buddies that say some ridiculous things. I wanna know that I can turn these features on and off. So show message notifications, group conversations, I can turn that on and off. First line of any message, I can turn that on and off. Play message chime, I can turn that on and off. So understand there's some additional messaging customization controls that you have inside of here. So that's it, guys. We made it through the entire video of tips and tricks on the 2025 Honda Ridgeline. Hopefully this helps you out. I got a couple favors to ask of you before you get out of here. One, press the like button. When you do, it just pushes this video a little bit higher up in that search algorithm, and it makes me a little bit more famous. Second, I hope you'll share the video. If you got some friends who are looking at a Ridgeline or own one and they want to know some cool things that kids can do, share the video with them, man. 3, I hope you'll leave a comment. If there's something you feel like I missed or you have a question about something, drop it in there. I always like to learn new things, so if you know something that I don't know, share it to me so I can add it to the next video. 4, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel so when I produce videos like this, you will get them. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Later, guys!